As a lawyer, you are legally bound to keep your client's secrets.
I did this horrible thing.
But when he tells you he's committed a shocking crime...
This is obscene.
Do you do your duty or what's right?
Do a bad job.
All new Family Law, CBS Monday.
This week on Dave, don't miss Ben Stiller, Mark Wahlberg, Jason Alexander, Minnie Driver, Spike Lee, and Regis Philbin. It's all new all week. Now your local news.
Coming up tonight on News 8 Live Weekend, we'll take you to a San Angelo church that's celebrating a landmark anniversary. A new restaurant opens tomorrow. We'll show you how they claim to be different than any other place in town. And some Wisconsin law students may help free a man who's serving a life sentence. Those stories and more up next.
Live from KLST, a Concho Valley tradition, this is News 8 Live Weekend.
Good evening, everyone. DPS officers are investigating an overnight car accident that left one woman dead and another injured. According to DPS officers, 21-year-old Nikia Ramirez of Very Best was northbound on Highway 83. Officers believe her Honda hit a tree and rolled into a field. When DPS officers arrived on the scene, they saw the driver's side door smashed in. Judge Joyce Wings pronounced Ramirez dead. Her passenger, 17-year-old Elias Torres, was injured in the incident. A San Angelo church is celebrating a big anniversary this weekend. St. Paul Baptist Church is celebrating its 104th anniversary. The celebration started last weekend and concluded today. Church members say their love for the church and a lot of prayer has kept the church alive all of these years.
We've been able to stand strong through all of the times of hard times and good times, bad times. St. Paul has always been able to overcome any obstacle that has gotten in our way. And we've done that with prayers, and we pulled together as a team, and we've always been able to handle anything.
Member Charlie Thomas was on hand to talk about the history of the church. He should know he's 94 years old and was on hand for the groundbreaking for their current building in 1954. Well, thousands of peanuts will take center stage at a new San Angelo restaurant tomorrow. Customers dining at Logan's Roadhouse restaurant can expect to be welcomed at the door with an all-you-can-eat pail full of peanuts while they wait to be seated. As an added bonus, customers have the pleasure of tossing the shells on the floor. According to Logan's manager, as part of the restaurant's trademark, the peanuts help complement a relaxed and very casual and fun atmosphere.
We like to do that just that people kind of feel at home and just trying to make it a kind of a down-to-earth, homey place for them.
Logan celebrates its first day of business tomorrow at 11. And Katrina Hansen is in the Weather Center with a look at our hopefully chilly wake-up weather. Katrina.
Thank you, Sarah. It will be the coolest morning tomorrow. This is what you can expect. A morning low right around 38 degrees. There will be a chance for rain, so you want to head the kids out the door with a rain jacket or maybe an umbrella. Winds from the east at 5 to 10 miles an hour. And that was a look at your wake-up weather. We'll have more in the forecast on how cool it's going to be in a little while. Sarah, back to you.
All right, thanks, Katrina. Wisconsin is a long way to go for help, but a Texas inmate may go free because of efforts made by a University of Wisconsin law school class. 33-year-old Christopher Ochoa and another man were convicted for the 1988 rape and murder of an Austin Pizza Hut worker. Both men were sentenced to life in prison. But the students in the Wisconsin law school class took up Ochoa's fight as part of what they call the Innocence Project. They pushed for DNA tests, and early results do not link Ochoa to the crime. The Travis County District Attorney's Office is reviewing the case. Slick roads caused a big rig to jackknife off a bridge in San Antonio today and explode. The rig's driver survived the accident thanks to two heroic men. Randy Stanley came to the rescue, found the driver pinned under a mattress at the back of the truck. Stanley and another man, Jeremy Cronin, carried the driver to safety. Stanley said he would do it all over again, even if that meant getting hurt. The trailer was taken to a junkyard. Hazmat crews cleaned up the diesel fuel before any leaked into the Medina River. The driver was taken by life flight to University Hospital and is in critical condition. Country music sensation Garth Brooks may need, in his opinion, 2 pina coladas, 1 for each hand. Now here's why. It's now official, country music superstar and his wife of 14 years are getting a divorce. It is not clear if Mrs. Brooks said goodbye to her good time and man or if the decision was made by both parties. The couple has 3 children. Brooks left the music business last year to pursue a baseball career. He struck out there. As a musician, though, he sold 90 million albums in his 10-year music career. Well, coming up, airports may be adding some extras to appease impatient customers. We'll show you how. And dinosaurs are taking over the small screen. We'll have a preview. It's coming up. Stay with us.
Years before America's electric cooperatives forged the nationwide alliance, Touchstone Energy, neighbors built their own electric utility to power lives and communities. Now Touchstone Energy cooperatives serve millions of homes and businesses. Customers large and small get state-of-the-art technology and affordable service. From the one-room schoolhouse to the communities and businesses of tomorrow, trust Touchstone Energy, the power of human connections. Brought to you by your Texas Touchstone Energy Cooperatives.
Friends, we're running for the record out here at the Lynn Alexander Auto Group. That's All-American Chevrolet and the Autoplex. And that means we're out to set an all-time sales record this month, offering you cash rebates, get this, up to $4,500 or 0.9 financing. That's less than 1% financing, friends. Or how about brand new cars? $209 a month with no down payment. 0 down. Sign and drive. $209 a month. Don't miss it. The Lynn Alexander Auto Group, All-American Chevrolet and the Autoplex.
More music. More variety. And now, more power. You love us in the car. Now you can love us at work. 96.5.
This ozone-friendly Bryant Puron has been a real winner in your part of the country, hasn't it, Guy?
Sure has.
You've installed them all over the Concho Valley. Guess that's why they called you the legend of heating and cooling.
Could be.
Since you're about the only one who has Puron, that hardly seems fair.
It's not. That's why I've installed over 300 units in San Angelo in the last 2 years. The Bryant Puron unit is economical to operate, extremely reliable, and environmentally safe. Let me show you why it's the right choice for you.
Parents at a Tennessee middle school are angry over the pregnancy test that their 13-year-old daughter was given at school. The parents say the school has to call to get permission to give children an Advil, but no one called to ask their permission for the pregnancy test. School counselors say they did tell the girl that if she did not tell her parents that night, then they would call them and tell them over the phone. The Crittenden service gave the girl the test, offers pregnancy counseling to girls at the school, and claims that they are under no obligation to tell the parents about such pregnancy tests. NASA officials say they're close to clearing a potential technical problem with Shuttle Discovery, but another potential problem has come up. The weather for tomorrow night's launch is iffy. Launch managers scrubbed last week's launch attempt because of a suspect explosive bolt that separates the shuttle from its fuel tank. But the weather forecast for tomorrow night is 70% no-go. Forecasters say winds could exceed the safety limits. Discovery is set to lift off on the 100th shuttle flight to deliver 2 major components to the International Space Station. Several airlines want to install wireless internet access in airport terminals with hopes of soothing some delayed passengers. The terminals will allow travelers to work, surf the web, or even watch digital movies to pass the time. Delta Airlines is already offering the service at its terminal in Vancouver, British Columbia. They also plan to have it available by the end of next year in Atlanta, Cincinnati, and Dallas-Fort Worth. United Airlines announced plans to start its own internet service next year at 30 airports. Passengers will need only a computer with the right wireless modem and a few dollars to pay for access. Frequent flyers will be able to purchase an unlimited access account for $40 to $60 a month. This evening, Israeli Jews begin observing the solemn Yom Kippur holiday, the most important day of the Jewish year, amidst a threatening atmosphere of war. The clock's ticking down on Israel's deadline for Palestinians to stop the violence. If Yasser Arafat doesn't rein in the rioters by tomorrow night, Israel says its soldiers will crack down with even more force. Jim Shinavi has more.
Palestinian police began breaking up youth gangs gathered at a busy intersection in Gaza Sunday. It was the first sign that Palestinian leaders may be heeding Israel's demand to end the violence by Monday night. But despite the looming deadline, clashes between Palestinian protesters and Israeli troops continued in parts of the West Bank and Gaza Strip. Prime Minister Ehud Barak reiterated his threat to Palestinian President Yasser Arafat to end the fighting or face a heavy military backlash.
If we will not see the difference, we will draw the conclusion that Arafat deliberately has decided to abandon the negotiation peace process.
Barak would not specify his plan of attack if the Palestinians fail to comply, but a top military aide says Israel could start targeting Palestinian commanders and their headquarters. Palestinian officials say it's ultimately up to Israel to end the conflict.
Mr. Barak is the one who should give orders to his forces to pull out of Palestinian populated areas and really end this very, very costly massacre.
Palestinian authorities also want Israel to accept a UN Security Council proposal for an international commission to investigate the violence. Meanwhile, the U.S. is urging both sides to resume peace talks.
I don't think blaming is what we should be doing at this point. I think we need to look forward.
So, as Israelis observe Yom Kippur, the holiest day of the Jewish year, they are also praying for peace before it's too late. Jim Shenevy, CBS News.
Don't look now, but Jurassic Park is about to reopen. The first two movies are being released on collector's edition DVDs this week, and as Doug Fratelloni reports, one of the DVD extras is a special link to the upcoming third movie.
In Jurassic Park and the Lost World, moviegoers were treated to something they'd never seen, movie dinosaurs, which actually looked realistic. We can all thank director Steven Spielberg for this prehistoric rush. In return, Universal wants consumers to rush out and buy the new collector's edition DVDs of the two films. Each disc features more than 60 minutes of extras, including early animation of the dinosaurs, be it raptors in the kitchen or dino skeletons rumbling through the park. Each disc also has its own mini documentary attached. In the Lost World documentary, the crew relies on monster sticks to get the film shot. They're props to help the human actors act, because the computerized critters wouldn't be added until later.
We literally walked through the set with animal heads at the right height so the actors could get used to where their focus would be, and we would rehearse them with those sticks. That's how we keep the actors kind of looking where they should be, because there's nothing worse than once you frame up a shot, if you put a creature in one place and the actor's eye line is somewhere else or their focus is somewhere else, it doesn't work.
And then there's the inside story on the bus over the cliff scene.
Inside the trailer, we had rigging for the actors. They were on cables, and they were safetied off so that they could only move so far as I wanted to let them move and still be safe and appear as though they were falling. On top of that, we had rain falling out there, so we had that element to deal with as well. Everything was wet, the camera was wet, the actors were wet, so we wanted to be able to get them up and down as quickly as possible and in and out of the trailer safely and still get the scene.
The Jurassic DVDs will also guide viewers to the scene of the next movie in the franchise, Jurassic Park 3. Each disc has a link to the official website with the promise you'll get to go on a virtual visit to the set and chat with the movie makers. Universal says that type of DVD extra has never been offered before. Jurassic Park 3 is expected in theaters next year. The DVDs of the first two films are in stores Tuesday. I'm Doug Fratelloni reporting.
Now, you mentioned earlier that it was going to get a little cooler. Exactly how cool are we talking?
You're going to want to unpack the winter gear, I'll tell you that much. But the sad thing is probably by the end of this coming week, you'll have to pack it all up again. Oh. But we might break a record tonight. I'll tell you how cold it will get tonight when we come back.
Breakthrough, see how a new procedure can fix a herniated disc without limiting the person's movement.
Junell, a leader for West Texas, a defender of our values, honored by groups across the political spectrum. As chair of the House Appropriations Committee, Rob delivered the largest tax relief in state history. A fighter for ASU, the state park, jobs, the state school, Goodfellow, brush control, and highway expansion. A leader who helped put a library card in the hand of every school child. Rob Junell works for us.
West Central Wireless is making Texas your home with new Texas Home rate plans. Introducing rate plans where you can have no roaming and no long-distance charges throughout the entire state. From Dallas to Dalhart, Midland to Mount Pleasant, El Paso to Edna, Houston to Hereford, and all points in between. West Central's new Texas Home rate plans have got you covered over the entire state of Texas.
West Central Wireless. Call on your home team.
Hello? Greg?
Bite into the bold kick of Sonic's new spicy chicken strip dinner. Or for a tamer taste, try our classic style. Both with dipping gravy, fries, Texas toast, an onion ring, even an ice-cold drink for just $3.99.
Welcome back, everyone. You're looking at the town and country neighborhood weather in Sterling City. Right now it is 44 degrees. It feels like 35 with that wind chill. Winds are moving in from the northeast at about 10 miles an hour, and it is a little humid out there, 31%. Going outside, it is a cool evening. If you have any plans to head out or you're laying your clothes out for tomorrow, you're going to want the long sleeves. This is what it is right now out at the airport. It is currently 47 degrees. We have 32% relative humidity, winds from the north at 14 miles an hour, and the barometric pressure is rising. Today's high, we'll look at the rain watchers first. We had a couple calls, not too many. Sonora called in with 1 inch, Eden 0.2 of an inch, and Menard had 0.4 of an inch, and we appreciate everyone calling in. I believe that rain is still coming down. We'll get to the radar in just a moment. And now we'll go ahead and take a look at the high for today. Only 50 degrees. Normally we're at 81, and the record breaker was back in 1979 of 99. We started the morning out at 43, and it will be even cooler than that tonight. So it will be a nice, refreshing, almost winter-like time. You can smell people already starting their fires. It is pretty wet, but mainly around the south for a change. A few scattered showers and some snow actually falling around the Great Lakes area. But there are some major weather changes. This is what's going on. We have this high pressure falling in behind this cold front, and that is leaving some clear conditions, but very cold conditions as well. The only place that hasn't seen that front swoop down yet is South Florida, where temperatures are still pretty warm for this time of the year. And the big weather maker will be this cold front moving through the Pacific Northwest. Once that moves through, those temperatures will fall as well for those folks. They'll start to see some rain and more winter-like conditions. But in the meantime, those temperatures looking pretty nice right now. It's 58 in Seattle, 59 in San Francisco. Still 75 degrees in Phoenix, and if you're tired of this cold weather, you might want to head to Miami, where it is 81 degrees right now, but you'll want to take the umbrella because it is pouring rain there. So temperature is looking pretty cool for most of the nation. Some 30 to 40 degrees cooler than normal for this time of the year. In Dallas, it is only 48 degrees. Look at Sioux Falls, 27. New York is at 46, and Washington at 45. We'll be back with more weather in just a moment.
First Warning Weather is brought to you by San Angelo National Bank, where you get free checking and $500 overdraft protection.
I'm serious about my burger.
Introducing Whataburger's new barbecue cheddar burger.
It's got some kick to it.
It's got grated cheddar cheese between 2 pure beef patties, barbecue sauce, pickles, and onions, all on a hot, fresh bun.
2 beef patties.
The melted cheese is incredible.
It's got pickles. It's got onions. With the barbecue sauce,
it's tangy.
For a limited time, the barbecue cheddar burger.
It's working for me, and that's why I love Whataburger.
Whataburger, real food, real fresh for real folks since 1950.
Now at Trend Furniture, choose sofas, sleepers, dining rooms, bedrooms, mattresses, all with
0% interest.
For 2 long years.
That's no finance charges for 24 long months. Now at Trend Furniture, across from the Sunset Mall. Zero's as low as you can go.
At Rangel Printing, we've taken professional printing from the old days of mechanical printing to current state-of-the-art desktop publishing. Whatever your printing needs, from brochures, business cards, and invitations, to programs, manuals, and book publishing, Rangel Printing is your best choice. Our friendly, experienced staff does the job right the first time and at a very competitive price. So hurry over to Rangel Printing today, across from MHMR on Sherwood Way.
Texans should have a healthy diet. The food stamp program may help, whether or not you're employed. Contact the Texas Department of Human Services for more information.
Welcome back, everyone. Here is the Town and Country neighborhood weather in Ballinger, where it is currently 47 degrees, and we'll just have to double check on that low, because I think everyone would be dead if it was really that cold. Okay, let's go ahead and go to this cloud coverage. You can see that we still have some very heavy clouds and even some snow falling in the upper elevations of West Texas in the Davis Mountains, moving into New Mexico. And through these clouds, we actually have some rain to talk about. Look at this rain. Rain here and there throughout the Concho Valley. Most of the northern part of the Concho Valley seeing some light drizzle, but the heavier of the rain falling north of I-10, and you can see these showers here right around Sonora starting to make their way toward the east. They're moving at about 10 miles an hour, and we had some very significant rainfall there in Sonora, a whole inch of rain, so that is definitely some good news with these cool temperatures. Rain elsewhere, though, you can see most of Houston, Austin, and San Antonio being plummeted with rain this evening, so it is a very soggy night for most of South Texas. And once again, I should mention that a very chilly evening for the Panhandle, where it is 40 degrees right now. Freeze warnings in effect. Lubbock actually saw their first snowfall this morning. That's the first time that has ever happened in the history of Lubbock. 41 degrees right now. Midland is at 45, Austin at 46, some very cool temperatures. Brownsville is only 48 degrees. Normally, at this time of the year, they're looking at temperatures in the upper 80s. A cool night all across Texas. And here's what you can expect for tonight. A low of 37 degrees with some chances for rain, as you saw from the radar, falling mostly in the southern counties. 37 for your overnight low. And for tomorrow, you can expect a high of 46. 39 for the overnight low tomorrow, and we do have a 30% chance of showers as well. Winds will shift to move in from the east at 5 to 10 miles an hour. You'll definitely want to pack the umbrella just in case. And here's a look at the extended forecast just when you think winter has arrived. On Tuesday, temperatures start to warm up to about 58. Wednesday, 71, and then we almost reach the 80s by Thursday and Friday. By next weekend, we're looking at temperatures in the 80s. So
crazy weather.
Crazy weather, West Texas weather. I've heard all, the things about it, and this is what's supposed to happen.
Wait 20 minutes, it'll change again.
Exactly.
Thanks, Katrina. Nearly 500,000 Americans suffer pain from a herniated disc in the neck. A new surgery may be able to help them get moving again. It eliminates the pinched nerve, but not the ability to move. Jennifer Matthews explains.
Go-karts don't have suspensions, and so every bump in the road you feel.
Thomas Strahan never expected he'd be back behind the wheel of his go-kart.
I was basically walking like this for a couple of months.
Thomas had a herniated disc in his neck. Racing made it worse.
When you're going through a corner and there's a bump, your head gets whipped back and forth.
The final straw came when he couldn't pick up his daughter.
I thought, you know what? When you can't hold your kids, something's got to change.
And we can see that there is a narrowing of this nerve.
Dr. J. Patrick Johnson could offer him that change with a procedure called anterior cervical foraminotomy.
It's a fancy term for the little tunnel where the nerve comes out of the front of the spine.
The traditional fix removes the whole disc, fusing the spine and limiting motion.
And we simply go in there and either trim out the little bone spur or we pluck out the little piece of disc. That's pressing the nerve, and we leave the whole disc alone. We leave the motion in the vertebra, and we don't change the mechanics of it.
Thomas was out of the hospital the same day with only a tiny scar to show for it.
That first day of surgery was like, my God, there's no pain in my left arm. Ready to get down?
In just a few weeks, this father was able to pick up where he left off. With this medical breakthrough, I'm John Thomas, KLST News.
If you would like more information, you can write or fax John right here at KLST and ask for the medical breakthrough segment on No More Neck Pain.
Medical Breakthroughs is brought to you by San Angelo Community Medical Center. Community is proud to be the official healthcare provider for the San Angelo Colts.
Coming up in sports, the Outlaws travel to Austin playing their second exhibition game tonight. We'll have the details. And Week 6 in the NFL today, Brian Snyder will have all the scores and highlights next in sports.
It's taco time at Dairy Queen. Right now, you can get 3 of DQ's famous T-brand tacos for just $1.99. Brimming with beef, fresh lettuce, tomatoes, and cheddar cheese. They're only at Dairy Queen, and they're only 3 for $1.99. And shake things up with your favorite DQ shake for only 99 cents. You can even try one made with refreshing Coca-Cola. Tacos for $1.99 and shakes for 99 cents. There's only one thing to do. Meet me at DQ.
Send your clothes to Holiday Cleaners. They'll come back fresh and clean.
Men and women can get their suits professionally dry cleaned this month and save $1 on every suit at Holiday Cleaners. So tomorrow on your way to work, gather up all your men's and ladies' suits and get $1 off each and every one at Holiday Cleaners.
Holiday Cleaners. Holiday. There's one on your way. Holiday.
Now with 9 locations to serve you.
Strawberry Patches is a unique ladies' boutique specializing in Sunday dress wear to mother of the bride wear. They have a unique variety of items from casual to career wear, spring to fall fashions, embellished hats, and accessories to cologne. Their prices are always reasonable and they have new clothes arriving weekly. Strawberry Patches located at 1515 Martin Luther King Boulevard.
Attention contractors, why pay more for drilling and anchoring systems? Locally owned Angelo Boat and Industrial Supply is still the most complete industrial supplier in the area, carrying a full line of Powers Raw Spline and SDS hammer bits, powder actuated pins and loads, along with mechanical and chemical anchors and Unistrut, all in stock at low prices. And we have free delivery to your job site. Come by today for all your industrial supplies. Angelo Boat and Industrial Supply, 808 Warehouse Road.
Brian Snyder in, and you know, it's perfect weather probably for football and hockey. Unfortunately, the Outlaws haven't had much ice time.
No, not here in San Angelo, at least. Luckily, other teams in the area have been able to let them go practice Odessa. They played Amarillo exhibition tonight in Austin. Training camp continues for the Outlaws as they make the trip to Austin to play the Ice Bats in their second exhibition game before the team comes home to practice on their own ice at the Hideout. And tonight, the Outlaws, well, they just couldn't get it done tonight. 6-1. The final, the Ice Bats get the win. Scott McDonald, the lone goal for the Outlaws. He's normally plays left wing, listed as a center for the Outlaws. The Outlaws' next exhibition game will be Tuesday versus the same Austin team, 7 p.m. This one at the Hideout. So make sure you get out there, support the Outlaws in that one. They'll be home. They'll practice tomorrow at the Hideout. Meanwhile, the Rambells soccer team on the road today, continuing Lone Star Conference play, taking on Midwestern State. And the Rambells dropped that one today, 2-1 to Midwestern State. Kerry Hughes scored in the 42nd minute, the lone goal for the Rambells. The next match for the Rambells will be Thursday at home versus West Texas A&M. Well, the Dallas Cowboys have had a bye this week and will play the New York Giants next Sunday. So Week 6 of the 2000 NFL season continues as the Cowboys, NFC East rivals, the Washington Redskins, and the Philadelphia Eagles fight for first place today at Veterans Stadium in Philadelphia. Brotherly love. First quarter, Redskins deep in Eagles territory. Handoff to Stephen Davis, and he rumbles 12 yards into the end zone for a touchdown. 7-0. Washington on top. Then late second quarter, Eagles strike back as Donovan McNabb back to pass. He throws a beauty to Charles Johnson. He makes the nice catch a 30-yard touchdown pass, game tied at 7. Then fourth quarter, Eagles with the ball in the red zone. McNabb pass to Na Brown in the end zone, touchdown. 14-7 Eagles on top. Redskins looking to strike back. Brad Johnson throws. It's tipped and intercepted by the Eagles' Damon Moore. Then he fumbles the ball, and Washington recovers. So 2 plays later, the Redskins hand off to Skip Hicks. He takes it in from 3 yards out, and the game is tied at 14. Then controversy on an Eagles punt with less than 3 minutes to go. Deion Sanders returning. He runs, and it appears he fumbles the ball. The Redskins ask for instant replay, and look at his left knee right there. It's down, and then the ball comes out. So they reversed the decision. Didn't affect anything too much. Donovan McNabb late in the game throws an interception right there to Darrell Green. He runs it back all the way to about the 20-yard line. That sets up a 24-yard field goal for Michael Husted. After missing 2 during the game, he makes that one, and the Redskins win in dramatic fashion today, 17-14. They are now in first place in the NFC East. Meanwhile, the New York Giants got a win. They'll face the Cowboys next week. New Orleans 31-10 over Chicago. Tennessee fights off a scare from the Bengals early on. They beat the Bengals 23-14. Detroit continues to dominate Green Bay in the Silverdome. They win 31-24. Miami beats Buffalo 22-13. New England upsets Indianapolis. Peyton Manning just cannot win at Foxborough 24-16. And Pittsburgh hands the Jets their first loss, not even allowing a touchdown. Vinny Testaverde injured early in that game. The reason for the Jets 20-3, the final there. Arizona behind Jake Plummer 29-21, beating the Browns at home. Denver demolishes San Diego 21-7 at home. Oakland 34.